Well, hello there, you're watching the official Theme Park Fans YouTube channel and welcome back to another video. So as you can see by the video title, I'm going to be doing another coasters ranked worst to best, but this time I'm doing Thorpe Park. Now I am thinking of making this a series where I'll rank coasters worst to best for parks that I've visited, but I won't do this for every park I've visited. For example, Park Asterix, which I visited 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Because I only did 2 coasters at Park Asterix, and it'd be a bit awkward ranking the coasters worst to best at Park Asterix when I've only been on 2. So it won't be for every park, but it'll be. I'll do this series for parks that I've been to where I've probably done 3 or more coasters, maybe 4 more. 4 or more coasters would be great. But yeah, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing this about Thorpe Park. I did one about Alton Towers. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the one where I did Alton Towers coasters ranked worst to best, I will leave a video link to that one in the description below, so you can go check out the first one. But if you do want, guys, if you do want me to make this a series, then do comment below, because I really like doing this. So before I start, once again, this is my opinion. Your opinion might be completely different, but that's okay. So without further ado, let's begin. The coaster at Thorpe Park, which I think is the worst, is Colossus. Now with Colossus, it was unique to the UK once when it opened back in 2002, because it was the world's coast. It was the coaster with the most inversions in the world. It had 10 inversions, of course, but as we all know, in 2013 it got beat by the Smiler with 14 inversions, and that novelty has kind of been taken away. And the thing I don't like about Colossus is that it's quite rough. It's not as rough if you ride Colossus on the front row. However, on the back row, it can seem really rough. Because I remember when I did Colossus on the back row for Summer Nights quite a few years ago. It was about 5 years ago now. I did it on Summer Nights on the back row, and yeah, it just felt really rough, and my head was shaking about, and the restraints on Colossus aren't the best either. One of the things I do like about Colossus is the on the last few inversions, I think they're the Cobra rolls, where there are how many in a row is that? Because I know there's one just before you hit the brake run to go in back into the station. Is it about? I think it's about 8 inversions in a row. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense, would it? No, it's 7. I think it's either 6 or 7 inversions. 6 or 7 Cobra rolls in a row. I might be wrong, but anyway. So yeah, Colossus. I just don't really enjoy Colossus that much. However, I have heard that this season Colossus is a little bit smoother. So I haven't visited Thorpe Park yet this year, but I'm gonna have to try it out myself to see if Colossus is a bit smoother. So there we go. For me, the worst coaster at Thorpe Park is Colossus. Oh, and I forgot to mention at the start of this video, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. For the purpose of this video, I won't be including the Flying Fish and Walking Dead the ride. So there we go. I can't believe I forgot to mention that at the start of the video. But anyway, moving on to the next coaster. And for me, the second worst ranked coaster at Thorpe Park is Soar the Ride. Now, what I really like about Soar the Ride is the theming. Now, when you approach Soar the Ride, it gives you that intimidated feeling. If you've watched the Saw movies before, and the theming for Saw is very good. You got a police car, Like it's like an American police car by the ride lockers, and by the fast track entrance for the ride. And also, I love how the area is called Saw Island. And then you got even more theming in the queue line. You got like the torture equipments that they use in the Saw movies. And then when you go into the station, when you're queuing inside the station, you'll sometimes hear a gunshot, and that's really good. And then you got like old TVs in the queue line in Saw's queue line in the station. And then when you come up to the station where you get, well, you don't get badged, but you can just walk in any air gates. You got like a really old broken computer in there, and I really do enjoy Saw the Ride's theming. It's really good. However, now onto the coaster itself. With Saw the Ride, it can either be smooth or it can either be rough. Now, if you sit on the front row of Saw, like, because there are 2 rows of 4, and I just find that on the front row, if you're on the front row of your car, I just find it really rough. However, if you're sitting on the back row of your car, I find it really smooth. And yeah, the ride layout of Saw, I think, is quite good. Especially in the beginning. And, you know, when you're going through the ride building itself. Because, like, you leave the station, you turn around the bend, and this is one of the things I like about Saw the Ride. If you're in the first car, because, like, there's a first car and a second car. If you're in the first car, when you go around that bend just before the drop, you'll get Jigsaw's puppet doing that creepy laugh. And then if you sat in the second car, the car will stop while the first car is going around the ride building and to the lift hill. Jigsaw's puppet will give you a speech, and that's really good. But yeah, I just think for that reason, Saw the Ride on the front row and the in the front row, it's just kind of rough. But as I said, on the back row, I find it smooth. Which is a bit weird, because usually when you go on a coaster, it's usually the back row, like towards the back of the train, that's really rough, and front row, or towards the front of the train, is really smooth. But yeah, I completely haven't made sense talking about Saw the Ride, but there we go. For me, Saw the Ride is my second worst coaster ride. Thorpe Park. Now we're moving into the top 3, and just missing out on the second spot is Nemesis Inferno. With Nemesis Inferno, I feel like it gets a lot of hate because it's got the name Nemesis on it, and you know, many people think, you know, Thorpe Park have copy towers with the name Nemesis, but at the end of the day, they're owned by the same attraction company, Merlin. Well, actually, back then it was the Two Swords Group, but you get what I mean. And Nemesis Inferno, it's a pretty enjoyable coaster. Yes, it might not be as good as Nemesis at all the times, but I find it very enjoyable. Especially when you leave the station and you go through that tunnel of mist. Especially if you sat on the front row of Nemesis Inferno, I must add. When you go through that tunnel of mist. That really adds to the experience. And I mean, the rest of the ride, it's okay, but yeah, I really do find Nemesis Inferno enjoyable. And I do like the Bose speakers in the station. You know, that's when they had the old Nemesis Inferno soundtrack. You know, like when the old Nemesis Inferno soundtrack used to go boom, 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 boom. You know, and it just really added to the atmosphere of the station. But yeah, as I said, Nemesis Inferno does get a lot of hate, and I could somewhat understand that because it's got Nemesis Inferno. And I do think if Nemesis Inferno just had the name Inferno, and not Nemesis Inferno. I think more people would appreciate it, but I appreciate it, you know. I think it's a good coaster, and I like the start with the tunnel and mist. So there we go. That's my third best coaster at Thorpe Park, just missing out on the top two. Now, once again, with the top two, I had a very hard decision to make between Stealth and the Swarm. They're both great coasters, however, I'm going to have to give second place to Stealth. Now, with Stealth, I kind of compare it to Oblivion, in like, now you may be thinking, Will, why are you comparing Stealth with Oblivion when they're two completely different coasters? And I understand that. However, when I say I compare Stealth with Oblivion, I mean it in terms of how it's simple. Because with Stealth, like, I know they're both different coasters, but with Stealth, you sat there waiting to be launched, and then you get the announcement, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. And then you just launch from the station, up the top hat, and then over the top hat, and you get great views of Thorpe Park when you're at the top. Down the top hat, over the bunny hop, into the brake run, and back round into the station. I really do enjoy simple coasters, you know. They're simple and straight to the point. Like I mentioned with Oblivion, when I did this, but for Alton Towers, you know, up the lift hill, round the bend, hang over the drop for a few seconds, and then into the hole. You know, Stealth, it's just a really simple coaster, and I like it. I really do enjoy Stealth. It's a great coaster, and I hope that it can stay at Thorpe Park for many years to come. Now, the best coaster for me at Thorpe Park is, of course, the Swarm. What I really like about the Swarm is that it's very unique to the UK, because it's the UK's only wing coaster, and it kind of gives you a different feel of riding a coaster. Because usually with a coaster, you know, whether it's Nemesis, Taron, Wicker Man, Blue Fire, Icon, well, you get what I'm saying. The coaster is on the track, but with Swarm, it's on the side of the track, and I love that loose feeling you get. So no matter if you're sitting on the left-hand side of the track or the right-hand side of the track, you do get that loose sensation, and I really like that, how you just, throughout the coaster, you're really, you feel loose, and the inversions on Swarm are really good as well. And also, the Swarm's feeling, the Swarm's theming is really good, because you got an ambulance which is like tipped upside down, and it's in the ground, and then you got the fire engine by the track of the ride, and it gives you that I'm not going to even say, but you get what it. I'll think of another way to say it. It gives you that end of the world feeling, you know. You come to this island, it's the end of the world, you got this kind of like disaster theme, you know, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the Swarm's theming. And also you got the station as well, which is kind of themed like a church. And then if you look at the Swarm's op cabin, it's themed to like a tipped upside down police car, I think. And overall, I just really enjoy the Swarm. It's smooth, you feel free on it, and the theming is really good for Swarm. So for me, the Swarm is my favourite coaster at Thorpe Park. So thank you once again, guys, for watching another video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I know I didn't make a lot of sense in this video, but you kind of get what I'm saying, you know. Do you agree with my list, or is your list different? Do comment below, and I'd be really interested to see your opinions on whether you agree with me or whether your list is different. As I said, this is just based on opinion, and you know, At the end of the day, an opinion is an opinion. So my next video is going to be out on Monday at 6 PM. I'm going to be doing another video. I'm going to be doing another video about Thorpe Park. So tune in for that. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. We are quite close to 950 subscribers now, so if you hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out our Facebook page. As always, our Facebook page link is in the description below, so go and check that out and give it a like. And also don't forget to check out my Alton Towers coasters ranked. I've done so much talking. Don't forget to check out my Alton Towers coasters ranked worst to best. As I said, I will leave a link to that in the description below, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, if you want me to make this a series, then do comment below as well, along with your Thorpe Park coasters ranked worst to best. But there we go, guys, that is it for another video. Once again, I do apologise for making this video a bit complicated. You know, sometimes I find it hard to explain myself, but yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Anyway, I'm Wood. Thank you for watching, theme park fans, and it's time to close the video down. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.